Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the She Shoots podcast, Women Empowering Women in the Shooting Community, Season 4, Episode 45. Shooting stars, Canadian women make their mark at the IPSC Worlds. My name is Regina Ruiz Ordonez, and I'm from the Canadian University Shooting Federation. And joining me today, as always, are my lovely co-hosts, Nene Tomlin and Casey Kunchuk from Lady Guns, and Kelly Melanson from Project Maple Seed, Vampire Radio, and CCFR Women's Program. I would like to start by thanking our sponsors, Cabela's Canada Outdoor Fund, positively shaping the future of the outdoors. Every cent donated by rounding up at checkout goes towards helping Canadian organizations just like ours. Breda, family owned and operated since 1526, and Vortex, the best in optics. If you have any questions or comments throughout the show, make sure to leave them in the box down below. And with that, that's over to Deneen and Kelly to introduce our guest for today.
Thank you very much, Regina. Hey, Kelly, how you doing tonight?
Good. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. We've got an amazing lineup tonight, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to introduce them. So I'm going to jump into some bios, and then we're going to, as usual, jump into some amazing questions with some amazing women. So tonight we have the Canadian women's team from IPSC from all across Canada. We have Amanda Fisher, Melody Philistin, Lise Mahoney, and not joining us tonight, but on the team, Catherine Raymond. So I'm going to whip through some bios, and like I said, we're going to get started. So Amanda, she's from Alberta, a competitive shooter specializing in IPSC and USPSA. Her journey began in 2015 with a PAL course to learn about firearms and legislation, but she didn't intend on competing. So we're going to hear how that went for her. Amanda's interest ignited when she fired her first pistol at a local range, starting with a 32 Mauser and ending with a 44 Magnum revolver. A month later, she bought a CZ75 SP01 Shadow, took the black badge course, and entered her first IPSC competition in early 2016. And then she quickly became dedicated, very dedicated, I would say.
Yeah.
Now competing with a Shadow 2 in the production division. In 2020, she became a chief range officer, officiating major matches in both Canada and the US, and is currently the top production division lady in Alberta, ranking among the top in Canada. Welcome to the show tonight, Amanda.
Thank you.
All right, so next is Melody. Melody is a semi-professional competitive shooter from Calgary, Alberta. She is the current and three-time IPSC Handgun National Ladies Champion, as well as the current Pistol Caliber Carbine National Lady Champion. Melody began shooting in 2022, earning her PAL and her black badge that spring, and since then has earned 4 national titles, achieved several match wins across Western Canada, and in 24 became the first female competitor on a nationals winning team in Canadian history. Mm-hmm. On the international stage, Melody, not done yet, stand by.
I know.
On the international stage, Melody has proudly represented Canada at both the first ever Pistol Caliber Carbine World Shoot in Czech, as well as the Handgun World Shoot in South Africa, which is what we get to talk about tonight, where she competed as the top Canadian lady and placed 12th in the world. All right, on to you, Lise. Welcome, Melody. Welcome back, Melody and Amanda. Lise.
Yeah.
For over a decade, Lise and her husband have held their RPELs, and I love this, with no regrets. I think that's fantastic. Participating in various shooting disciplines, including CQB, precision rifle, IDPA, I-Corps, USPSA, and IPSC. Also enjoying mounted shooting and finding it incredibly exhilarating. Currently, Lize's primary focus is IPSC and USPSA. To contribute to the sport, Lise serves as a chief range officer with NROI and a range officer with both IROA and USPSA. In 2025, she earned the title of Top Lady Production Shooter in Canada, having been ranked number 1 in both 22 and 23. She had the honor of representing Canada at the IPSC Handgun World Shoot in South Africa, where she competed on the Canadian Lady production team and achieved 3rd place as the senior production lady globally. Lise's passions include horses, shooting, and exploring the world with her husband. And thank you for taking time out of all of those passions and joining us tonight on She Shoots, Lise.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Very nice to be here.
Our pleasure. Okay, I'm going to take a beat now, Kelly, because I've talked myself out. And I'm going to turn it over to you to start the question.
Perfect. Again, thanks, ladies, for coming on tonight. And also, we're sorry that Catherine couldn't join us, but she was she was another lady that attended South Africa. We talked about a lot about in your bios about South Africa. So that's the purpose of tonight. We're going to get into it a little bit, but before we do start talking about the match, let's get a little bit more about your background. Now, a lot of you have a really recent history with shooting. Amanda, you started in 2015, and Melanie, I thought, Melanie, you were, I think it was 2022, you got your RPAL. And Lise, I don't know when you got it. So why don't we get a little bit more about your background? Did you grow up around firearms, Lise? And then we'll go on to Amanda and Melanie.
Sure. Yeah. No, actually, no experience with firearms whatsoever until 2012, I believe. Me and a couple of girlfriends wanted to do something fun, so we went to a local place called On Target, where you go just, from someone, a public off the street, you go and you get to try firearms. And so we did that as a ladies' night, and it was a lot of fun. And then I got home, my husband's like, "What? You did that without me?" And so it was like, yeah, he's like, "Well, let's try this." So we decided we're going to get our pals. We got our pals. We joined a club, started, shooting. What most people do, you join a club, you put up some paper targets and you shoot from a bench. And, we probably did that for maybe a year. So I think it was probably 2013 maybe. And after a while, that's fun, but not quite as fun as IPSC. My husband's actually the one who kind of found this online. He's like, wow, look at this. People running around with guns and they're shooting things and moving targets. And so we looked into that, decided to get our black badge, which I believe we got our black badge in 2014. Okay. And then from there, we haven't looked back. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and looking to continue this for as long as our government lets us.
Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit too, but you're the newcomer to the show. So Amanda and Melody were both on the show previously too. But for those that have not heard the previous shows, Melody, why don't you tell them a little bit about your background?
So firearms in general are kind of newer to me, you could say. 2022 is when I got my license, really for the purpose of shooting IPSC. I had gone to the range here and there growing up with a friend, the odd time. And I think the last time was when I went with some coworkers, and they let me shoot a pistol for the first time. And I was better off throwing the thing at the target. So that was funny for everybody else. And at the time, I guess I didn't really see much of a point of getting my license because I didn't have that much interest in behind the bench shooting. And then, I think it was late 2021 or early 2022 is when I came across this show called Top Shot. And one of the competitors on it was a professional shooter. And I was kind of like, wow, what is that? And then I just started watching YouTube videos of IPSC shooting and USPSA, and that really drew my attention. That was, it looked really fun, running and gunning. There's walls and moving targets, and it's like an agility course. So I went and I did my license and signed up for my black badge, and
the rest is history.
Yeah.
Perfect. Amanda, you've been on the show previously as well. Tell us a little bit about your background. Why did you get into it?
I was that typical anti-gun person. I know it's insane to say. Just uneducated, didn't really know guns, didn't understand guns, did not grow up around guns. I was a city kid in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. So it wasn't, it was just nothing I ever had interest in. And then my spouse wanted to have a gun in the house, and he wanted to hunt. He grew up hunting with his dad, and I didn't want that. So instead of it being like a hard no, I went to get my firearms license just to get a little bit of education and to know what was going to be in my home or around me, even though I was super uncomfortable with it. And then once my license came in the mail, so I did get my PAL and my RPAL just because you can't have one without having the other. It's just they go hand in hand. So when I had a coworker, a friend of mine, that took me down to the range, and we shot handguns for my first time. That's when we started off with this little 32 Mauser and worked our way up to a 44 Magnum Dirty Harry revolver. It was exhilarating and empowering, and it was, I need to do this. So I went and bought a Shadow 1, an SPO 1, and then I took my black badge. I didn't know what IPSC was. I had no interest in competing. I just took my black badge just so I could get more familiar with my firearm and just get more comfortable with it. So when I was down at the range, I would know how to use it, how to manipulate it or get out of malfunctions or whatever. And then in order to get my black badge certificate, I had to shoot one IPSC match. And so I'm like, well, I want my certificate, so I'm just going to shoot one IPSC match.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
There's a lot of history here. A lot of history. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an addiction, and I love it. It's a great adrenaline rush.
Yeah, but you shoot one match and then you're done.
Hooked.
Yeah. And it sounds like you were introduced to it. All three of you ladies were introduced to it because of curiosity and wanting to go out with a bunch of ladies, and it's something that you do with your husband or your partner. So it sounds like it is a really fun thing to pursue. And I know there's some people who are listening or will be listening that do not know what IPSC is. So Lise, do you want to tell anybody who's not heard of it, IPSC or IPSC, what it actually stands for?
IPSC is an acronym for the International Practical Shooting Confederation. It's a worldwide organization. There's, I believe there's 5,000 IPSC members in Canada.
Yep.
Over 2,000, I believe, in Ontario, and 100,000 worldwide, encompassing, I believe, almost 100 countries. So it's obviously it's very popular sport. Very happy that that we're able to do that here in Canada. And I would recommend that you look at videos if this is something you're interested in, and just to see what it's about. It's kind of hard to describe, but you're shooting with a holster. So you have a holster and you have your handgun and your magazines, and you're running around what we call a course of fire. So you're shooting, maybe some targets in one area, you're running to another area, shooting some other targets. The fun thing about it is that it's not like, well, it's sort of like golf in a way, because like no holes are the same, right? So no stages are the same. So every time you go to a match, it's always something new. It's something fun. You're basically, you're using the same skills, but in different scenarios. So you want to shoot accurately, you want to shoot fast. Most importantly, you want to be safe. So that's why, I think the black badge course is a great thing. That's something that we have in Canada, but not all countries have a black badge course, which a lot of countries have adopted our black badge course, or at least looked at it and made their own course to do that. So yeah, I would say look at videos, find someone who belongs to a range, go out to a range. Yeah.
Great recommendation. So before we move forward with it a little bit, let's just back up the bus just a little bit. So Melody, do you want to talk about the different, so you did, I I can't talk tonight. You competed in the other worlds recently as well. Okay, you just got back from the worlds for handgun, but you were at the worlds previous. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Because it wasn't pistol, was it?
No, yeah, it was for PCC, which is pistol caliber carbine.
Yeah.
That world shoot was in May in the Czech Republic. It was just 6 months before our government banned the PCC in Canada.
Yeah.
So we went and we used rentals because we were training. This was something we wanted to do. Obviously, we were the underdogs, having to shoot the biggest match of our lives with a rented gun that we've never used before. But PCC was that was the first PCC world shoot. It was definitely a good experience to learning experience to get into the next world shoot, just kind of based on what to expect.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You did well at it, and if anybody wants to listen to the show, you are on a show as well with your fiance.
Yeah.
Well. So, but what we're trying to get at here is there is handgun, there is PCC, and then there's also shotgun divisions of IPSC.
Yeah,
and rifle.
And rifle. Yeah, we forgot about the rifle. So yeah, Amanda, let's bring you in. So I know that we talked about it in the bios, but let's talk about the match itself. So where were you? Where was the match? And when did it take place?
We were in South Africa, in Stilfontein, South Africa. It was amazing. Beautiful country. Yeah. It took place last month, the main match at the mid to end of September. And South Africa. It was great. I thought it was going to be warmer, but they're just getting out of winter. That was a little bit shocking.
Who would have thought shooting a gun would take you across the world, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Mel was just in Czech, and Lise and I were in Thailand a few years ago for the world shoot, and Lise travels quite a bit, quite extensively, Greece and.
I was in the Czech as well.
Oh, right.
I also worked that match, so it was a long time there. But
I bet.
Yeah, it was good.
It sounds like you, and also for those of you who are on social media platforms where you see Amanda, you see Lise, you see Melody as well. All the pictures that you posted, especially from South Africa, were absolutely amazing. So it looked like you had a ton of fun. Let's talk about the match. How many teams were there? Do you know?
I think there was 76 countries.
Wow.
As far as teams, more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's something that's across the globe. What about Canada? How many were on our team? What was our contingent that we sent over there? If you're here squeaking, it's my dog.
53,
Sorry.
we said.
I was guessing like around 50, 60 people that went from teams. So how many teams did we have? We had the production optics, we had production optics senior, we had production lady, classic, standard.
Open.
Production.
Open. Was there an open senior? I'm guessing maybe around 10 teams. Does that sound about right, ladies? Or
10 different teams. So
and then of course a lot of people just competing individually.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So
yeah,
I'd love to hear I just want to hear how you got on the team.
Yeah.
Before we get into the match, how did you guys get to be on Team Canada, and what is the selection process to be a nationally ranked shooter?
Well, for Amanda and I, we both shoot production, so we're first and second in Canada production ladies. So that's why we were able to get on the team. And of course, sometimes maybe the third or fourth or fifth person whose rank can't go, so they kind of go down the list. And sometimes it's, well, who's going to be able to be there to shoot? You know. And
so it was the ranking during a period of time, like a year, was it? And you had to be within a certain.
So it's over 3 years. So
Okay.
it's your national. It's the score of your national championships. So your best or your average of the 3, I believe it is, and then you're ranked according to that average nationally. And so then they take the top so many of every division.
Mhm.
The divisions need to be like not every division gets an even amount of slots. It depends on like the amount of competitors there are in that division. So that's how it gets separated out. And then from there, it's wherever you're ranked, you get offered a slot.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. I'm sure that is a question somebody had or will have. So, and Melody, yourself, same situation but different division. Is that correct?
So I shoot production optics, and so based on, I think production optics is actually one of the like higher involvement, so they would get however many spots, and then I guess based after that on the interest of who wants to go, they could form like the category teams. I know a lot of people, maybe South Africa was a far way to go for a lot of people. So
yeah,
great opportunity though. So now let's get into the match and the event and the divisions. And Melody, with you not just coming back from Czech, was it the same feeling? Did it have that same sense of pride and that national team feeling that you guys shared with us in the previous podcast?
Yeah, like just being a part of something so incredibly big and so worldwide is like, it's just an amazing feeling. And then being the handgun is the most popular discipline in IPSC. There being just that many more people there and having like more of our Canadians there, like I think like probably 3 times the amount that we had go to PCC World. It was just that really nice, like prideful feeling.
Excellent. I gotta say, as a side note, 70 something countries, like thousands of guns, and everybody was safe, everybody was happy, and a good time was had by all. So that just goes to prove, if anybody's listening, that this is a fun, safe, and happy sport.
exactly.
So, and it attracts people from around the world, and people traveled with those handguns and ammunition and all that good stuff. So good on you, ladies, for going out. And Amanda and Lise, had you done or you had done it before in where did you say you went? Thailand. Thank you. I remember watching you guys on social while you were there. Was it similar to that feeling as well?
Very similar, although I think kind of like Melody, it seemed to me that there was maybe more Canadians at this World Shoot. And I don't know if you feel the same, Amanda, but like being at the opening ceremony, I felt that it was more, what's the word?
Surreal.
Yeah. I think it was, I mean, of course, going to Thailand was amazing as well, but I don't know. I think this time it felt, maybe because I had maybe more invested in it this time. I don't know. I felt it was really amazing. Yeah.
I also think because the last one was so close to COVID that a lot of people, they couldn't go because of different situations, and it was a little bit more difficult to travel in December or November 2022 because it was so close to COVID. The uncertainty of travel played an impact of people going, and of course, like this one, the cost because you're going so far.
Right.
But yeah, it was surreal. being in that opening ceremony and walking in the parade and wearing our flag on our shirt and holding the flags in our hands, it was, you have that sense of pride, and it's like, it's so, like, you can't even put words around how it feels to be able to represent your country, especially as women in such a male dominated sport. And here we are kicking butt like we are, and
Yeah,
playing on the big stage, and
exactly.
it was amazing.
And I think the other thing too is because we were kind of like on a football field and we could see like all the countries, like we could see all the way to the end. And it was like, wow, there's this many people here. Whereas in Thailand, we kind of walked through a building. So
Yeah.
I didn't get the feeling of the same grandeur, I guess. Again, it was just, yeah, amazing.
So yeah, to Kelly's point, I think everybody should go back and check your social media feeds, because
Yeah.
you captured so much of it, and it was very enjoyable to watch you guys go through your journey and see everything you were posting. So
Great.
so I'd love to get into the kit, Kelly. Every one of you guys
Yeah.
had to prepare and pack stuff to get over there. So what was in your bag is really what I want to know. I mean, not only are you preparing your primary firearm, but did you take a backup? Are you taking ammo? Did you buy it there?
Well,
So Melody, let's start with you. And this is a good time to shout out any sponsors that might have helped you with that loadout.
Oh man, yeah, a huge thank you to my sponsors just for like the support. And I didn't travel with ammo in my bag, but I did have it shipped there.
Sure.
Thanks to FH, they helped in getting my case of ammo to Camp Row. There was a bunch of us that had we just had a big export order to get our ammo across. Yeah, I brought my 2 Shadow 2s.
Okay.
Gave them a good clean before I left. New springs from Double Tap Sports is another one of our sponsors.
Mhm.
Apex Optics were the dot that I was using, and they sent us with a spare dot and a spare weather shield, which it actually did rain quite a bit, surprisingly.
Did it?
Yeah. The weather was actually quite similar to Calgary, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? My belt. Got my Lynx belt from Double Tap Canada. What else? We trying to think. I mean, I brought a bunch of spare parts that I could pretty much build a third gun if I needed to,
Mhm.
minus the frame, because it's World Shoot, and every tool that I possibly owned, I brought.
yes, definitely. Tools,
Yeah.
spare parts.
Yeah.
And I love that, offsetting all of that, you each had an evening gown, which
Yes.
that could be a whole other podcast.
Absolutely gorgeous ladies. Oh my
Stunning,
goodness.
stunning. But
Yes.
before we get into evening gowns, how about Amanda? Let's talk about your loadout, and then over to Lise.
So I did travel with 100 rounds with me, just so I could have that with me at all times. And then I shipped 1,000 rounds with me, and of course I used the bullet shop ammunition with Penner Precision projectiles.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you guys seen my social media posts, but
I did. It was
Colleen put a
Yeah.
like a inspirational quote on every
Every
single ammo box. Every 50 rounds had its own personalized note on it for me, and I didn't know, because she packed it all up for me. So as I'm taking it out in South Africa, getting ready to load my magazines, I just started crying. It was such an emotional experience. I'm so blessed to have the bullet shop, Ed and Colleen, by my side for several years now. Of course, I only took 1 Shadow 2 just because the uncertainty with our government, being able to get it into South Africa and out of South Africa safely, I was just too nervous for that, and I only took 1 firearm with me. Of course, Double Tap has me fitted with all of my gear, my gun parts and all of that stuff. And Hunter's HD Gold for my safety glasses. And they've been recently sending me other glasses. So if you check out my social media, I have lots of fun fashion wear from them. And of course, my high heels. Can't forget our high heels. So yeah, that's what was in my bag.
Outstanding. All right. How about you, Lise?
Okay, well, probably basically everything the same that the ladies have brought as well. But a shout out to CamPro for getting our ammo there, so we didn't have to worry about shipping that in our luggage. Myself, I only brought one pistol as well. Again, like Amanda said, with the uncertainty, and unfortunately, when we were in Thailand, we didn't get our handguns till probably 5 days after we arrived. So that's a whole other story, maybe for another time. But that was a little stressful, so did not want to go through that stress again. Of course, my belt, my eyewear also from Hunter's HD, all my range wear from Range Junkie, my spare parts, of course, for my CZ as well, my hand grips, my cleaning supplies, you know, clean your gun after so many rounds. Yeah, I think that's about it. And able to squeeze in the dress in there too.
Right. Yeah, you guys looked amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So that must have been a bit stressful knowing you wanted to have two guns, one for backup, but with the current state of the nation, quite literally on handguns, not knowing if you were going to risk it. So
exactly.
I'm glad it went well for all of you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So every time we get on the plane, it's like fingers crossed that our special luggage will make it.
And even though we are competing against each other and with each other, if I'm going to speak out of turn a little. If I was my gun didn't make it, I'm sure Lise would have loaned me her gun and we would have shared it.
Of course.
And vice versa.
I almost had to share your gun at the Canadian Nationals this year.
That's right. And like we're competing against each other, but we would do anything. Well, the match ammo didn't work for some people, so my leftover ammunition went to other competitors that I was competing against. And it's not always about your score, but the camaraderie we have in this sport is just outstanding. It's not like any other sport. It's amazing.
It really is.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And I think someone was it on the PO team? Anyway, something was wrong with their gun, and they're like, oh, can somebody help? And I think one of the fellows on the other team was like, yeah, let's help you out with this, or I'll share this, or I'll fix this. And it's, like Amanda said, it's incredible. Yeah.
It shows a lot about the sport itself. Yeah.
It certainly does. And I have found that across a variety of disciplines in the shooting community. It seems like if you fall short, something breaks, you forget to bring something to the range, somebody's
even
always
your
got
lunch.
your back. Even your lunch.
Like I'm giving people food, they've given me food. Like this is what you do.
Yeah.
But not your high heels.
No. That's yours.
Not my high
That's
heels.
where I draw the line. That's it right there.
Yeah, you're going barefoot. Sorry.
I can't walk in your heels anyway, so it's all good.
Neither can Mel.
No. Try that once.
We did try that one. Yeah, it was good.
I have a question about, so you were talking about the people that were supporting you and they shipped your ammo ahead of time. How much prep? How far in advance did you have to do all of this?
Oh boy, when did that conversation start? That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Oh,
It started in February. And then we finally found somebody, I think in March or April. And then I shipped mine in July. I shipped mine to Quebec in July. And then they shipped what month are we in? They shipped it in August
August.
to South Africa.
Right.
And then they didn't get it until the Saturday before the match.
Oh,
So it was tight.
That was
Yeah.
tight.
So we're
Yeah.
going to start planning now for the next Handgun World Shoot.
2029.
That's in 4 years, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, it was a little tight. What about the export permits and everything?
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
that started even earlier. That was
Yeah.
like before Christmas. Didn't we all start at least?
yeah, and you had to have it in by June 30th. And
Okay.
I was at work at 9 p.m. on June 30th finishing mine because you have to have your flights booked and you have to have this known and that known, and you needed the import permit for South Africa Police Service, and then we needed the ATT, the Canadian ATTs for border crossing, and I needed another one to get mine just to Toronto, and then you needed your export permit or your import permit for Canada to bring your gun back, and it was just too much.
It was a lot.
The country you were transiting through.
Yeah. Yeah, Dubai. I needed one for Dubai and for the Emirates,
And some people didn't actually have theirs until they arrived, right? Well, Melanie,
Yeah,
what happened with you? You arrived and
Yeah, me and Taylor, neither of us, we never got our permits. And when we arrived, we were like, so we don't have our permits. And they were like, well, I guess we're going to have to take your guns. And
what? Oh my God.
yeah, that's what they were doing. They were confiscating firearms until the permits were issued. And once permits were issued, they had like organizers from the match delivering them to the range.
Okay.
But after going to war in that police office and asking them, just check the system and see if
they're in the process.
it's
we're-
there.
yeah.
And finally they check, and they actually had my permit. So they were like, they printed it and they were like, please get out of here. We never want to see your face again.
Good job,
But-
Melody. Good job.
But let's also make it known though that it's not, you didn't not have your permit because you didn't apply for it. You
Right.
applied for it with plenty
Yes,
of time. It
yeah.
wasn't a you problem. It was, well, it ended up being a you problem, but it wasn't because of you.
Yeah, it was. There were hundreds of competitors who their permits never got issued, but everybody applied before the deadline in
Mhm.
June or July it was, and they were just really. The police service was really behind on issuing them,
They were slow.
and then when it came to crunch time, there was like hundreds of competitors from all over the world that had the same issue when they got there. So like Taylor was one of them, where they actually did have to confiscate his firearms. And then they were delivered to the range, I think that Saturday. So like 3 or 4 days later.
Wow.
But
So it was South Africa that was behind in issuing the permits.
That's
Is
right.
that correct? Yeah. Okay. All right. So why don't we get into the actual match? What was the course of fire like?
30
30
of
stages.
them.
30 stages.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many days and how many stages? Yeah.
Let's
we-
talk about how many days overall, and then
So we shot 6 stages over 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had 1 day off in between those. So we were on schedule for 6 days, shot 5, had 1 day off.
Mhm.
And our schedule kind of varied. So luckily, only 1 day we had to start shooting at 6:30 a.m.
Ouch.
Yeah, and so 6:30, 9:30, is it 12:30?
12:30 and 30.
Yeah, so those were all the start times, and it was good. The 6:30 it was a little chilly that morning, but eventually warmed up. I think the courses of fire were some of them were not as challenging as they were in Thailand. I think you would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
they were a little deceiving. I think maybe people thought, oh, well, this is easy, and then you're like, oh crap. You know?
But I think too with 4 or 5 a day, your stamina, your fitness, how you're eating, how you're sleeping, an easy yet deceiving course can really, pardon the pun, eat your lunch if you don't have the rest of that stuff in line, right? If you're
Right.
not sleeping, you're not eating properly,
The mental
whatever
game.
it is.
The mental
Yeah,
game. And
it's the
sometimes it
mental
just
game.
takes a few stages to kind of, well, at least for me, to kind of get going and kind of get into the groove. And then you're like, oh, wow, I just shot 3 stages. I only have 3 left to, kind of
Right,
pick
yeah.
up my game. But yeah, I think it was, I think I kind of like it being spaced out, because I can't imagine, trying to shoot, say, 10 in one day and then 10 the next day. Like, I think it would be just too much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. How do you ladies feel about the same, or?
Yeah, like it was a good, like it doesn't really give you much time to get tired, especially
Right.
when you have to do it for 5 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it like the way it's set up, you shoot your like 2.5, 3 hours a day, and then pack up, leave, go home, do the same thing the next day.
Right.
There you go.
So,
Was there any particular stage that you really enjoyed?
ooh,
Hmm.
are we all gonna?
You go, Melody.
Like, I can think of a few like of the left and right stages where they were like kind of spicy, where just you're moving and shooting, and there's a lot of transitions left and right, and then you kind of the moving and on the shooting on the move are always, I think, the most
The
fun.
fun
because
Yeah.
I agree. And there was
Yeah.
lots of opportunity for that at this match, whereas the previous world shoot, you didn't dare. That your side mirror, when it says objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, or further than they appear, whatever it says. Well, that's like the ones in Thailand, like they were further than they appeared, and you had to respect them. This one, you had to respect some too, but there was more opportunities to shoot on the move and shoot a little bit more aggressively,
Yeah.
which is more fun. But
Yeah.
it doesn't really test as much as a world shoot should.
Right.
Like I feel like our nationals was probably more difficult.
I think so too. Yeah.
Sounds like you prepped for it a little bit ahead of time, like whether it's through matches and all that. We'll get to that in a second. But is there any of the stages you thought were, no, this is not my most favorite of stages?
I
The
don't
weekend
think there was.
stage.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
the weekend stage, the strong hand stage, both of
Yeah.
them.
The furthest
I-
targets in the whole match.
Yeah, I
On
did
the
like the
weekend stage.
strong hand one, but the weekend one, yeah, that was a little grueling, a little punishing. Not
Area
my
5.
favorite. If I
Area
had to
five.
pick the least favorite, if I could take
Yeah.
a stage out, that would be the one. I actually didn't mind doing the one where we had to do prone. I thought, oh, I'm not gonna like that, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, you started and finished prone, so
Yeah.
not too much wiggling around.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So let's talk about how you prepared for it, because I do know that maybe one or two of you went a little early and got acclimatized. But before you got there, Dini was talking about 5 days. That's pretty grueling. So fitness wise, eating wise, mental preparation wise, how did you guys prepare to go to South Africa? Get in the groove, as they say.
Let's start.
I'll start
Okay.
because I had a tough time. I've had a mental block all season, and I think the amount of pressure that I put on myself is unnecessary, and I forgot to keep the fun into it. And I'm actually going to take some time off over the winter and just like keep my gun aside. So it's the mental prep that I think is probably the most important. Of course, there's the physical challenges, but like the top people aren't necessarily the most fit people. It's not necessarily about physical, but dry firing, having a good dry fire routine is really important. I eat really healthy all the time anyways. So yeah, my diet was really good. And while I was there, it's really important to watch what you eat, especially being in a foreign country, you're not knowing some of the things that you're eating. So being really conscious of what you're eating, what you're drinking, of course, is also really important. Ask me how I know. So yeah, for me, my mental prep was the most important. And you feel like you're ready, and you feel like, oh, you got this. And then as soon as it says load and make ready, that the nerves that all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. So to be real, the mental prep for me is the hardest.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess for me, I had kind of already been in the mode of practicing dry firing because we had our provincials, our Ontario provincials in July. I also shot the IDPA provincials in July. We had our nationals in August, and then we were going, of course, in September. So I think I was kind of in the mode doing the dry firing, trying to get to the range as much as I could, although wasn't able to do a whole lot of that in August, but as much as I could. And like Amanda said, I think the mental game, definitely trying to work on that. Just trying to keep those positive thoughts always, even when I'm doing the dry firing or doing live fire. You screw up and it's like, okay, no, that's good that I did that because I'm learning X, instead of, oh man, what, I'm such an idiot, But yeah, so I think I was kind of in the mode. I think I felt prepared going in. Of course, I had my moments there. I think it was my second day wasn't the greatest, but like Amanda said, you just keep going. I think generally I tend to eat healthy, okay, although I do like my potato chips, but
We all do.
yes. But I didn't do
think
any specific, I guess, workouts or anything like that. I mean, I think I'm pretty physically active to begin with, so I didn't do anything special in that regard.
so far I'm hearing consistency.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'm hearing is being prepared to bounce back after you've had a mess up or a screw up. So part of that mental game is, how do I get back into my game? So
Very important. Yeah.
How about you, Melody?
Yeah, definitely. I think I wasn't as prepared for the mental game as I thought, because like I find now shooting in Canada, it's very familiar. So the nerves aren't as big, or there aren't as many. But now being on an international stage, I really did have a tough time shaking those nerves. And I just noticed that it did slow me down. Not incredibly, but a decent amount, to the point where like I can hear my own breathing while I'm shooting.
Yeah.
And but as far as training, I was trying to train as much as I possibly could. Trying to get to the range at least 3 times a week. I mean, we all work full time, so it's kind of hard to do. Exercise wise, I was also trying to get into the gym 3 times a week to at least be more agile. I was doing a lot of agility exercises to help with movement and transitions. Eating wise, I also eat pretty healthy, so I didn't really have to change much with that. But yeah, I was so focused on training for Worlds for so long. It was kind of like, oh my God, we're here. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. And I remember like leading up to nationals, that's usually kind of the big one of the year that like we're training for, and you set goals and expectations. And when we got to nationals, it was kind of like, oh my God, nationals is already here. I hadn't really thought about it much, and I just shot the match, and it ended up being one of the best matches that I'd ever had. And I think because I didn't give myself to dwell on the mental part of it, I just did. And so going into Worlds, I kind of was feeling good because I knew I could perform. I didn't really have any like stage meltdowns or big errors or anything big that I think really hurt me. If anything, it was just the mentality of like trying to shake the nervousness. That's just added some time that I probably could have shaved off. But yeah.
I think it was you, Melody, but I can't recall. One of the three of you guys posted on social media about that. about it, and it was about shaking off that. Was it you, Melody, that posted that?
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good post, and I'm sorry I couldn't remember who posted it, but I thought it was really good to share with anybody who's reading and following the journey as to how important it was to when to take yourself seriously and when to back off a little bit, right? I thought it was a really good post.
Yeah, thanks. I was kind of talking about like your absolute best. You're not going to perform your absolute best every single day.
Right.
You're going to do the best you can that day, and it might not be your peak performance. And that was one thing that I think I was struggling with a bit, because it's 5 days of shooting. So to be absolutely perfect and perform for 5 days is not easy. I did have one day where I shot like really well, and I was really happy with that, where I felt like that was my absolute best. And then the other days I kind of felt like I shot the best that I could that day.
Right.
And that's just part of being human.
And that's significant. And the fact that you had one day when you were right on top of your game and on fire, not everybody even gets that when they get to the world stage, because the wheels fall off, right? So good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also think that for you specifically, like you had gone to the Worlds in May, and then you had nationals, and then you also went to South Africa. It's one significant match after another significant match after another significant match. There's a lot of you needing to perform at your peak every time, right?
A lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure. Did you find that? Or
I think PCC Worlds not as much, because it was kind of like I hadn't trained for it as long because I hadn't been shooting PCC that long. And then now that we're shooting with completely unknown guns, it was kind of
put the pressure off.
Yeah, it was kind of like, well, we're here for fun, for like,
We'll do the
I don't
best
know
we
how
can.
well we're gonna do, but and then nationals was I almost didn't even really see nationals coming. I was so like tunnel vision on Worlds.
Yeah.
So I didn't really feel the pressure at nationals because of that, which honestly probably worked in my favor. But yeah, I think I put a lot of pressure on myself mentally for the Handgun World Shoot. That was really the most pressure I think I've felt in my shooting career, just because this was the first year that I shot internationally. That was my first international handgun match, and then PCC was my first international match ever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
might as well start big. Hey,
you bet.
Start big.
Yeah.
So,
well, your first match was at nationals in 2022. So like,
go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
Right. So I'm curious, with all this pressure as a competitor, when you're an RO or a chief range officer and you get involved in those high-level international or North American anyway competitions, does that help you see it from both sides? Does that help when you get out on that course of fire, or like you're laughing, Amanda? So tell me, what's going through your head right now?
It helps you understand the rules more, so you can use them for your advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That probably sounds terrible.
No,
it's true though.
But it's live now. You said it, so it's.
I know, right? It's knowing the rules is really important, because you know what the limits are and what you can push for the limits. And doing it internationally, you also get little bits of experience. If you always do it, like if we always did it just here in Alberta, or in Lisa's case, just in Ontario, you only know what you know there. But going to other countries and being able to officiate there, you get to learn that culture a little bit more, which is beneficial for your own experience and progressing and advancing in the sport.
And although we all use the same rule book, say ROs in other countries might have interpreted a rule a little differently. But so maybe they feel that they're right in their interpretation, but us being an RO, we can say, okay, well, this is how we interpret it, and then we leave it up to the range master or whoever to decide. So at least, but if I wasn't an RO, then I wouldn't know enough to challenge or say, well, no, I really think that rule doesn't apply here, or or rather this rule should apply. And
Right.
so, yeah, I mean,
Well, thank you for that. And I was curious because, I mean, I think it's important as you get into your sport, and in this case, we're talking about IPSC, adding more, contributing more to the sport is becoming an RO, is becoming a range officer, is becoming a shoot, director, whatever it is.
mm-hmm.
And I love the way you guys framed that up as how it's beneficial to you as a competitor, but it also brings benefit to your club, to your team, right? So
Yeah. Benefits other shooters, because if we're able to help another shooter, which actually Amanda helped. We had a lady from France shooting with us because she wasn't part of a team, but she was just on our squad, and she was almost DQ'd from the Worlds. And we happened to, well, I don't know, was it Dave who was actually videoing her? Anyway, we actually had the scenario happened we had it videotaped, and Amanda was paying attention and was like, okay, well, whoa, what just happened there? So anyway, do you want to expand on?
Yeah.
So she was able to help this other competitors, what I'm saying. And she's not on our team, but she's part of our team. When you shoot with a squad, at least that's how I feel. Like we're there to help each other. So
absolutely. Yeah, she was going to be disqualified, and the rule that they were using was not applicable for the situation.
Right.
And if she was going to accept it, and so where I'm going with that is knowing the rule made her not get disqualified. It ended up having to go to the range master, like the assistant range master, and then above them to the range master. It took them over an hour to finalize a decision, but knowing the rule and being able to use that to your advantage could get you away from a situation like that. Was day one. Like,
unfairly disqualified. Like this was not.
It wasn't fair.
Yeah, it was not the right call.
No. And when you're an RO or a CRO and you make a call and you believe that you've seen what you've seen, even though that isn't what actually happened, it could be your truth, but that might not actually be what happened, because sometimes things happen really quickly. Yeah. So, and I think as officials, we need to be okay with being wrong and saying, you know what, maybe I didn't see what I thought I seen. And like, there's no place for egos when you're an official either. So I also think that's important. And yeah, knowing the rules. So she was able to stay in the match and was able to complete the match, and she beat me. And I'm just kidding. She did. She's a good person, and she was a great squad mate, and I'm so glad that she was able to stay in the match.
Awesome. So
that's a great story. Thank you.
Yeah, it is.
That's a perfect example. That's wonderful.
So were you able to go to the video and review it? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know what? I actually didn't see the situation happen, but when they yelled stop, I knew that there was a video. And so I'm like, let me see the video before. It was Catherine's dad that was videoing. And so I'm like, let me see the video. And so I slowed it down to see like when the situation happened and what she was doing during the situation. And yeah, it was.
If we hadn't had the video, she would have been
DQ'd.
Because
her word against theirs.
And like Amanda says, as an RO, you see something, obviously you call it because you really believe that's what you saw. And, we're all humans. We all make mistakes. And we were just lucky that we were able to.
You had it recorded and you had slow motion.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was able to participate, which is what shooting's all about, in fairness.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you were shooting in South Africa. I'm guessing it was expensive to get there, right?
Oh yeah.
So how were you able to go? How were funds raised?
Yeah, I knew that I was wanting to go since Thailand. So I've been saving every paycheck. I put money into an account. It just automatically comes out, goes into account, and that's how I was able to do that. But with that, putting that aside, I have sponsors like the Bullet Shop, who sponsors my ammunition for every competition, no matter where in the world I go, whether it's in the United States or Thailand or South Africa, it doesn't matter. they have my back. So yeah, without the bullet shop, I wouldn't be able to do this. It's not cheap to feed that Shadow 2, let me tell you.
It eats a lot.
It does eat a lot. It's like more than my teenage and adult children.
Yeah, it's like a teenage boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Melody? How were you able to raise the funds to get to South Africa?
Similar in the fact that I knew 3 years ago when I started shooting, I wanted to see how far I'd get and go compete in the World Shoot. So I've been saving for a few years. But also huge help was from our sponsors. We get support from the CCFR, which helped us incredibly. We're so thankful for their support because that really helped us get to the World Shoot. FH Munition, same thing. They're our ammo sponsor. Their ammo ran flawlessly, and they helped me get it there. So that was, and provided all the practice ammo that made me the shooter that I am today. Yeah, so that was like huge help in getting us over to the World Shoot. It's one of the furthest you can actually be from Calgary in the whole world.
Right. That's right. Well, I'm glad you don't have to throw the gun at the target anymore, Melody.
Yeah, me too.
And that you've got ammo instead. So.
And you didn't have to rent your guns this time.
No,
yeah. Whew, that was
That's
yeah.
a little different.
I mean,
too, so.
we did, the rentals ran flawlessly at PCC. I will say that they were great. We had no malfunctions, no issues. It was, it's just that it's equipment you don't know.
Yeah.
You're not.
Familiarization. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
My biggest supporter, of course, is my husband, Mike. Without him, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm lucky that we're able to enjoy and do this together. He's my biggest supporter, my coach, my best friend. I can't say how thankful and grateful I am that we can do this together as a couple, and we can travel and we can RO together. It beats golf.
Keep referring to golf.
I know. I just, it's like, maybe we should take up golf. No.
Did you all have supports there? Like you're talking about your husband, Mike, and Amanda. I think you had a support there, and Melody, you had your partner there who was shooting. So did everyone bring family members or significant others there as supports for you guys?
I have my best friend that I travel with, but my partner could not come, and of course my kids, they couldn't come. That's school and college and stuff. So yeah, no, they can't. They couldn't come, unfortunately. So no family, but I did have my best friend.
There you go. Lise, who was your support?
Oh, my husband, Mike.
Right. He was there.
He was there. Yes.
Anybody else?
Well, I mean, I had my team. I had, Amanda and Catherine, and Melody wasn't on my team, but she's there. Like I had all, my ladies, my support.
Yeah. Our people.
Yeah. And I know Catherine brought her dad. He videotaped.
Yes,
he was videotaping everything.
Yeah, he videotaped. The lady from France. So that was that was
which
great.
was fortunate for her.
Yes, and it was kind of nice. For Mike was on a different team, so he was shooting different days. So he was able to kind of follow us around when I was shooting, and I was able to follow him around when he was shooting. So it was nice to be there and support each other and support the team, and film the other Canadians. And I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like an amazing experience, and it's very cool to watch you guys progress as you post everything on social media, and then at the big wrap up, see you all dressed up and winning awards and arms around each other and celebrating together. And you clean up nice, ladies. It's really, really nice to see. And I'm out now. I'm like, what is Amanda going to wear next? Like, oh my goodness. Right?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. It's the IPSC fashion of the day. So yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Melody, who did you bring?
So me and Taylor were,
Yeah.
we were both competing, so it was just the two of us. We went together, but unfortunately, we were actually shooting on the exact same schedule,
Oh no.
Oh, no.
but on different squads.
Different
So
squads.
Yeah.
we never actually got to be with the other
Each
person.
other.
We did have one day off that was different, so he did come to support me for his day off and my one day on. But otherwise, actually, the South African team,
Mhm.
they had a match manager, like a team manager, who was going around and helping the other shooters and a delegate. But most of them, they had teams anyway, like a group of 4. And she came across and saw me and was like, you're like, you don't have any other members with you, you're just shooting on your own. And she actually stuck with me for the whole match as
Was
my
that
delegate
Belinda? Was that
and my
Belinda?
supporter. And that was Belinda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's an awesome lady.
So an absolute sweetheart, and was
Aw.
there. She had my back for that entire match. And it just goes to show like the kind of camaraderie we have in the sport, where
Yeah.
another country's manager just came, and even the early 6:30 morning days, she was out there with me.
Oh.
So she came to be with me while I was shooting, which was just incredibly kind.
That's
I
beautiful.
think
So-
I first met her in at the Australasia match, I think. But it's amazing. You see these people and you meet them at one match, and then you see them again at another match, and
Mhm.
it's like you have friends like all over the world. Just
Yeah,
amazing.
it's wild.
Well, if Belinda's listening, we'll give her a shout out. How's
That's
that?
right. Absolutely. Thanks for the support.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
So are you guys all super happy with how you performed individually for where you're at in your career, and is it going to set you up for where you're going? After your break, Amanda. After your break.
Yes.
I'll keep it real, and I'm not happy with my performance. Day 1 was really, really rough, and my day 2 was my off day, and I initially didn't like that, but then after I struggled on day 1, I needed that break to just like recenter myself and refocus. And so I went and played in nature for my off day, and then I was able to refocus, and I did okay on days 2, 3, and 4. Day 4 was my best day. Day 5, like I felt like I was moving good. I felt like I was shooting good. I felt like I was on the target. And then we went to score it, and it's like it was terrible. So
You were moving really good that day. Like I was watching it too, and I'm like, oh, that was an awesome run. And then you're coming back, and you're like, oh no. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so many Charlies, and I couldn't get my poop in a group, and I don't know. It's a mental game. Like when you get that mental block, it's so hard to get past it. It's simple, but it's not easy. And so I do know what I need to work on, and I am gonna come out better than ever. And yeah, I learned a lot.
Good for you, and good for you
Yeah.
for the self-reflection.
Yeah.
I think you guys you're shooting at such a high level. It's nice to see you taking time for yourself, taking time to reflect, and sharing with us how you're resetting or recentering. Because
Yeah.
I think anybody who wants to be shooting at the level you guys are at finds information and advice like that super helpful.
Melody, how do you think overall? How were you pleased?
I think
With your
I think
result.
I did good, not great, but I think I did good. Overall, I probably shot 90% of my best, which is kind of my goal. What I usually want to do. I don't want to be swinging for the fences every time, because usually you swing for the fences. It's you could hook up, or you could absolutely crash and burn. I didn't want to have any stage meltdowns. I wanted to try and shoot as consistently as I can. I probably shot a little too conservatively, but overall, I didn't really have a lot of errors or issues. So I think I did pretty good for what. I definitely am a lot harder on myself than, because I know I came off some stages like hating myself, and then I watched the video later and I'm like, oh, that was not bad.
Yeah.
But
it was pretty good.
Yeah. So, and then I guess like also seeing where I stacked up compared to the rest of our Canadians, where I normally stack up, I did perform probably on the better end than what I normally do. So I think I did okay.
You did okay.
Not great, but good.
Lise,
yeah,
what about you?
I think we're always our own worst critics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I did okay. Probably better than okay, but I still feel like there was one day where it was not my best. The last few days, I was focused on getting my points, so I think I may have shot a bit too conservatively on my last 2 days, but I don't regret that because I got my points and that's what I was trying to do. So I need to be happy with that. So yes, I'm happy. Let's go with that.
And you did walk away with the bronze medal.
I did. So I'm extremely happy about that. Yeah, I'm. It was one of the moments that I will remember forever. Being up on the stage. I'm shaking still now just thinking about it because I was up there and I was so nervous, but so excited. Yeah, so I'm happy with the way I performed.
What about the team
Congratulations.
overall? Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank
What
you.
about the team overall, Canada as a whole? Do you get the sense that the whole entire team were happy with the results that took place, or
Where did Taylor end up, Mel?
Taylor finished as an individual. He was top 10 overall.
That's amazing.
In the
that's
world.
awesome.
In the world.
Yeah.
And he had a shoot out. He got the chance to have a shoot off with somebody kind of significant too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he
took him out.
I
he
know,
did, yeah.
I know.
Shoot off with the world champion.
Yeah.
Right?
Eric
That's
Raffel,
awesome.
and he beat him.
I loved when
Awesome.
I read that.
That's exciting.
I kind of
Yeah.
screamed a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
that's fantastic. So
Our
Awesome.
Canadian team overall did really great. And especially like our gun culture isn't the same as it is in the rest of the world. And we
No.
can only really get out to the range like 6 months out of the year. Well, for me, like it's -14 outside already. Like it's already too cold, but my high heels doesn't like the snow and so like it's a little bit more challenging for us as Canadians to keep on our A game when lots of the rest of the world can shoot all year round.
Yeah.
So a lot of dry fire and a lot of time devoted to live fire in the spring and summer months. But yeah, I think our Canadian team did pretty well. There was a couple podium finishes, so it was, yeah, I'm proud of everybody.
Yes, I'm proud of all our members that were there. Like even just to be there for one thing, to compete on the world stage.
Yeah.
The
Representation.
amazing.
So,
Yep.
And not to mention, we are competing against a lot of professionals, like actual professionals. This is their
Full-time
job.
shooters.
This
Yeah.
is what they do
Yeah.
every day. Whether
Exactly.
Yep.
everyone in
Gravel?
Canada, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He's a
And even
professional
some of the
shooter.
lady shooters, like a
Yeah.
lot of them are professionally trained, and that's their job. That's what they do. They get paid to shoot.
Yeah.
Whether I know everyone from Canada has a job that they go to and shoot on the weekend.
Yeah.
So
There are no professional Canadian shooters.
No.
that's great.
No.
It might be impossible with the way our gun laws are, to be
Yeah.
honest. So
Yeah. And when we're talking about that, our culture as well is it's hard for anyone with the gun laws that we have to continue. So I know that we have a couple more questions, but let's talk about C21, right? people are interested in getting out and shooting, and with C21, the introduction of it, essentially you're not able to buy any handguns. So how can we change that? How can we get people out to the range? Are people allowed to come out and watch you shoot?
They can watch, and there are some ranges in Alberta that can rent you a handgun if you would like to get into competing, do your black badge. I've loaned my handgun to a lady that I met on a CCFR range day with the Chaz range. I met her there. It was her first time shooting a handgun. She wanted to get her black badge. So I drove my gun both days to Edmonton so she could use a gun because she can't get one. So it's people are willing to do that. You just need to be able to reach out or find somebody that's willing to loan a firearm or even teach you, if you have one, teach you what you need to know or where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think, some of the ranges here in Ontario too, they're still able to purchase guns and then they can allow people to use them. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's just on their ranges. So that kind of prevents a new shooter from being able to say, if they're here in Ontario, they're not going to be able to shoot a match in Alberta or go to the Nationals because they don't have their own gun to be able to travel with. So, I mean, we're trying to find ways to allow more people to join. It's just, it's getting harder and harder with all the rules and regulations, but we're doing what we can. Like Amanda says, you let someone borrow your gun or use your gun for a local match. And I guess that's all we can really do right now.
There's still black badge courses that are taking place here in Ontario. I know that. As well as in Alberta. It's just difficult to do any progression with the sport if you're not able to buy the handgun.
They're trying to do like a mini rifle course now too. So at least to get people started with mini rifle until they ban those, I guess. But
well, I'm hoping not.
I'm hoping not either.
Positive. All right. So
aren't we gonna all be shocked when it goes completely the other way?
Oh,
I know, right?
That would be so nice. Oh,
yeah, it'd be great.
IPSC will be televised for everyone to see it.
What about for the next? What about the next Worlds? When is it? Where is it going to be? It was announced, was it not?
Yes. Yeah. Italy.
Italy.
And
when is it going to be?
2029.
So if I start now, I might be able to get there, is what you're saying.
Yes, you can do it.
That's 4 years of saving and attending matches and getting the points and training.
Yes.
Well, I have the tools and I have a range just down the road. So what's my excuse?
Then you have no excuse. You have to do it. We're going to see you there.
Well, okay. So I'm thinking that everyone here that's on the podcast is interested in going to Italy. But what about you for the next little bit? Let's talk a little bit more short term. What's next for 2025 or 2026? What are your plans?
Well, I'm going to Utah on Saturday. I'm shooting the Race Gun Nationals in Utah for USPSA.
Wow.
So
with a production gun?
Is that quick enough?
Yeah. You get back in the country and you leave again.
I'm actually going to shoot my husband's carry optic gun. So
nice.
Production optic. Well, the lingo is a little different. Carry optic, production optics, but yeah.
Race gun.
Yes, race gun. I thought about shooting with my production gun, but I think my scores would be really down
there. So what does he shoot for a race gun?
He's going to shoot his open gun, and I'll shoot his production optics CZ with an optic on it. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So it should be fun.
Awesome. So you just get back in the country and you're leaving a gun.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. What about a little further down the road? Any of the big matches coming up in 2026?
2026. We're toying with the idea of maybe trying to do a match in Australia in February or March.
Wow. You really do travel with with shooting, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And
We haven't. That's not a for sure yet, but it's on the radar. So we're going to look into that. We met a lot of awesome people from Australia.
Nice.
And they're like, yes, maybe we can even rent guns, so we don't have to worry about bringing our own. So yeah.
Awesome. Amanda, you've told us that you want to take a little bit of break, put the gun down for a little bit this winter. What about the spring when that comes around? What do you got planned?
I'm looking at doing Guadalupe in March.
Wow.
Which is exciting. I was invited to go to Trinidad in February. So that's up in the air, and Guatemala next month, but I had to decline Guatemala. It's just too close to World Shoot. That's just too close. So probably Trinidad in February, and then Guadalupe in March, and then Puerto Rico a little bit further out I think it's in August. They just sent me the match schedule today, so we'll see.
Sounds like you have some traveling to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Melody, what do you got planned? I know you got a lot planned for the rest of the year
what?
now.
We actually don't have much planned yet. I think just dealing with the paperwork with Worlds was such a nightmare. I was like, do I want to do this again?
That's not typical, though.
It's not, no. But that being the first time we're traveling internationally with our handguns was probably the worst introduction possible. So we have provincials and nationals next year, but outside of that, I don't really know. We've been kind of toying with the idea of maybe Pan Am, but
there you go.
We'll see. We'll see what other matches are going on.
Okay.
Maybe the Northwood Showdown in Minnesota. We'll see.
And I just sorry. Go ahead, Deneen.
No, I was just going to say, I'm sure whatever you guys do is going to be amazing, and we'll all be watching you on socials and cheering you on. So.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's wrap things up a little bit, because it's almost we've almost been talking for an hour and a half, which is a little longer than normally we have for our podcast, but you guys were amazing guests. So I think we could probably talk for another hour and a half, but I do know that it's getting a little late, particularly here in Ontario. So why don't we have a couple of questions we normally end the show with. Both Amanda and Melody know these questions, but Lise, we'll put it out to you first. So
no pressure, Lise. No pressure.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to fail this. It's not like a fail or pass, is it?
Okay. Fail. So what type of advice do you have for someone who is interested in getting into competitive shooting?
I say contact anyone that if you even follow us on social media. If I can introduce you to someone around here, I'd be happy to do that. If someone who lives around here, I'd be happy to take you to my range. I'd say just try and find someone who's a member at a range and go to the range and see what people are doing. And if you can go to a match and see a match, that would be awesome, because then you kind of see, wow, this is something I could actually do and get into. That would be my best advice, is to, get in touch with someone who is shooting guns, part of a gun range, member of a gun club, reaching out to some of us on social media, so maybe we can direct you to the right range people.
Yeah.
We'd like to help people out. So
yeah, sounds like great advice.
Yeah.
And Amanda, what would you recommend to get more women into shooting? Do you think it's important?
I think it's the most important for women, just because I think that we're the demographic that doesn't really understand firearms. More men are involved in, I hate saying that, but I think it's true. More men are just naturally involved in firearms than women. And so just do it. Just do it. Just try it. Just one time. That's all it takes. It's yeah, I think that getting educated on firearms and the sport is so important, and the community is so helpful and kind and generous. So just get out there and just do it. And again, you can, like Lise said, if you're in Alberta, you can reach out to me and I can see how I can help you get into the sports. There was 2 ladies over there over the summer that I had hooked up with a black badge instructor and with a firearm. So yeah, just do it. Try Ladies Days. So we have Ladies Days in Alberta, lots, and in Ontario too, I believe.
Yep.
So find out your nearest CCFR Ladies Day and see if you can get in on that. Yeah.
Sounds great. Melody, what are your recommendations?
I mean, yeah, just kind of mirroring what both Lise and Amanda said. Just get out and do it. Contact if you know anyone who's a member at a range or any one of us, reach out to us and we'd be willing to help. Because between the 3 of us, we know a lot of the shooters in Canada because we shoot with them a lot. So yeah, depending what area you're in, if that's something you want to get into, it is an incredible sport. It is so fun. It's like a balance of aggression and finesse, and it's just
aggression and finesse. I've got a quotable quote. That's awesome.
But yeah, it's just a wonderful sport with just such amazing people, and it changed my life. So I absolutely recommend anyone who's interested, just do it.
I was going to say, or you go to a range, meet a guy, and then get engaged to him, and then you're both on the world stage. There's that option.
That is at risk at happening.
Can confirm. All right. You talked about getting a hold of you. Let's talk about how people can get a hold of you. What's your socials, and how can they reach you? So Melody, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I use Instagram. You can find me. My account's either my name, Melody Philistin, or 9 Melly's my handle. 9 MMMELLY. Just send me a message, and we can chat and set you up with a range.
Perfect. Amanda.
Totally not creative like 9mm Melly, 9 Melly. I'm just Amanda Fisher, competitive shooter. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. You can catch me on there. I'm super responsive to messages. So yeah, Instagram, Facebook.
Perfect.
Same. Under my name, Lise Mahoney, or my Instagram is Alpha Lise with 2 A's, like the double alpha, which we try for. Same.
Perfect. Okay. So thanks, Lise, for coming on tonight. Denise, do you want to say anything before we throw this over to Rahina and Casey?
I just want to echo same since the top of the show. It's been such a pleasure. Yep. It's been so nice having Amanda and Melody on for various podcasts, and to watch your sport grow with you and you grow with it. I mean, it's we're in our, what are we on, our 3rd season, going into our 4th season, ladies, or 4th season going into our 5th season? Right. So, I mean, to have had the chance to have had numerous Team Canadas and to have interviewed you, it's such a pleasure. And I hope it inspires the young ladies and other women as much as you inspire me. So I think it's yet another notch in your gun belt. So congratulations, and thanks again for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Great to meet you, ladies, and thank you for having us.
So stick around for a little bit. And again, it's incredible to have you on tonight. It's so great to see both Amanda and Melody again, and Lise for joining us. We're going to flip this over to Rahina. She's going to talk to us a little bit, sounds like.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you again, ladies, for joining us today. That's amazing listening to you, to all your stories. I mean, the conversation just kept flowing, so might as well have it, right? Okay, so I will go ahead and just start wrapping up. So let's talk about the upcoming events. So school's starting up, but if you want to volunteer, as you know, you can send us an email at submissions@cusf.ca, and we can help you volunteer there for us, for a club at a university you may be part of, connect you with individuals, whatnot. Just send us an email. Or if you're a student at a Canadian university that does not currently have a university gun club, we can also help you helping you to get one started as well. So you can send us an email at submissions@cusf.ca. And that's it for CUSF. Kelly, Maple Seed, I know there's always one.
Yes, there's several that are on the books that are coming up. I'm going to be in Ottawa this weekend at Stittsville, but we do have a ladies event that's going to be taking place in BC this weekend. I believe it's this weekend. We also have another event that's going to be taking place in Nova Scotia. So go on over to mapleseedrifleman.com, go to the events page. You can look and see if there's an event in your area. Just as an FYI, Alberta is done for the year, but we're also planning 2026. So if you do have, or if your club is interested in having an event, reach out to us at info@mapleseedrifleman.com, and we'll set you up with a shoot boss in your area, and we'll try and arrange something, including our ladies' days. I've already booked one for next year. Just saying. Deneen, what about you, Lady Gun?
It's hunting season, full stop.
Right.
It's true. It's hunting season. I've got some hunting planned. I've got some ladies going out for some first time bird hunting. I have put some packages together and I've donated them as fundraisers for auctions so that women and youth can come and have shooting lessons. That's all primarily shotgun over dogs, or for sporting clays or trap or skeet, because most of these ladies are part of dog clubs or hunting clubs. So, but other than that, we'll see what happens as hunting season progresses, and I have more hopefully to talk about.
Perfect. Yeah. Hopefully we get some of those hunting stories in our next episode, Deneen.
Hopefully. It's always a good day taking your dog for a walk when you've got your shotgun in hand.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and wrap it up. So once again, thank you, ladies, for joining us today. So with that, I'll thank our sponsors again. Thank you again to Cabela's Canada Outdoor Fund, Beretta, and Vortex. If you like today's episode, please leave us a like and follow us so you don't miss out on any of our episodes. You can watch us on YouTube and Facebook, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. If you liked our message and would like to learn more about our programs, check out our websites at cusf.ca, ladyguns.ca, and mapleseedrifleman.com. To support us and get some additional perks, check out our membership programs. Thank you all for tuning into the She Shoots podcast, Season 4, Episode 45. Shooting stars, Canadian women make their mark at the IPSC Worlds. So make sure to join us in November for our next episode. Keep an eye on our social media pages for the episode, date announcement, and guest announcement. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Good night, ladies. Thank you.